we just wanted to have a bit of a catch up, really, and a bit of a chat about how your transition kind of coming back into work after mat leave was, and how everything's going. So how have you found it so far? How long have you been back?
This is my, let me think now, it's my 3rd week back now, so just at the beginning of that. Because it felt like I never left. It seemed like a really smooth transition period, which was brilliant, because it wasn't what I was expecting at all. But everything seems to have gone sort of swimmingly. Everything, it's nice to be back, to see everybody. I've kept it up to date and informed as to all the goings on whilst I was away anyway, as and when I wanted to be. But it's good to actually kind of be back in the thick of things. I've missed everybody.
Fab. Well, that's good. So you found it quite a smooth transition then, kind of coming back in. And how old's Millie now?
So Millie is 7.5 months old, causing chaos and destruction wherever she goes. But yeah, it was aside from that, it was a really smooth transition. So Stephen and Neil kept me kind of updated as to how things were going on at certain agreed points throughout my mat leave anyway. And then in the run up to me coming back to work full time, there were a couple of return to work days just to get me sort of back in the swing of things, whether they were in the office, in the docks, or whether it was just sort of a couple of keep in touch meetings at home. So I didn't sort of go in sort of with a bang on the first day and not know what had hit me. I was kind of briefed and I knew what to expect as much as possible, as much as you can in recruitment, because there's always something that comes up.
With kind of like your role, have you found it's been quite kind of flexible, kind of returning after maternity leave? How has that kind of fitted in, like your previous role to kind of what you're doing now? Is it exactly the same, or has anything changed?
Yeah, it's pretty much the same role I left. It's just there's a lot more kind of flexibility around it for me now. Obviously, as a working mum, which I wasn't before, which still feels weird to say. But again, obviously I'm working from home today, just because it worked out better with childcare and that side of things, to have me here to be on hand in case anything's needed. And because the nature of what I do and the way that CRG TEC's always worked, I manage my own diary, and I fit things in around how I want it to go anyway. So if there's a particular time, I say, okay, I need to block a certain amount of time out in the middle of the day, or go pick her up from nursery. That's no problem. I can take that time out. I don't need to report it to anybody that I'm doing it. So crack on and fit work around it as well, which has been brilliant, and it's made coming back to work so much easier and so much less stressful than it could have been anywhere else.
That's brilliant. So they've offered quite a lot of support then, kind of in general, just kind of flexibility wise, I suppose, with making that transition as smooth as possible and as easy for you to come back in.
Yeah, very much so. There's quite a few parents and stuff at Tech now. I think we've got a good balance of how we want to work here. We're all treated as adults anyway, whether you've got a child or someone you need to care for at home anyway. This is a grown-up environment. If you're getting the work done, it doesn't matter, if you're sort of stuck chained to an office desk, or if you happen to be walking around the docks to do it, or for example in a home office or in your back garden or anything like that. And that's the way we've always worked. So that wasn't a massive shock to me, but just the support that Neil and Stephen have given as well has just been really nice, and it's taken a lot of pressure off me to feel like I don't have to justify myself to do it. At the end of the day, they understand that family comes first, and they're quite happy to do that. So I think that's the way that's their ethos too.
That's great. Cool. I mean, I suppose with recruitment, it's obviously such a kind of fast-paced industry, and kind of notoriously long hours, and putting a lot of stuff into it. So did you kind of, I suppose on a personal level, whilst you were pregnant, even before having a baby, imagine that you might kind of take a different career path? Or with CRG Tech, was that always the case that you knew the support would be there for you?
I think it's something that a lot of, well, let's face it, women do have to think about if they work in recruitment anyway, because just like you said, because of the long hours, sometimes draconian bosses and the sort of presenteeism that is kind of rife within the industry, and it still is for, even after COVID and stuff, you can see it sort of around anyway. It's almost going back to that anyway if it wasn't still there during COVID. But it's never an issue, never a concern I had working for Tech. There is lots of people I know in the industry who have moved out of there because they didn't think they could fit in a family life around working in recruitment. They go into something adjacent but not directly in there anymore. But with tech, you know, they've got the ethos that, again, you're a responsible adult, you can work as and where you want, and you don't have to be in the office all the time to be being a good contributor to the business and being able to, you know, progress your career the way you want to as well. It's not a sacrifice I ever felt I had to make working for tech, whereas previous companies, and I know other companies in the industry, I would have had to have made that decision.
Well, that's great to know. You've fitted right back in. I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, Alex. Lovely to have a catch up with you, and great to hear that you're doing really well. And,
thank you.
See you soon, hopefully face to face eventually.
That would be nice. Yes. Well, we're both not working from home.
Lovely. Have a great day. Okay. See you soon.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.